Tree. It's Mckenna with your weekly tree. Anyone who knows me knows that I'm a big doer and a planner, and patience is not one of my strongest qualities. And I don't know if anyone listening can relate to like the one trip kind of person, right? You're not. I say that I don't believe in more than one trip when you're bringing in groceries or anything like that. I got to do it all at once, right? I got to bring everything at the same time. I don't want to have to go back out, even if that leaves me by the end with 50 bags on my hands, out of breath, struggling to make it inside the door. But that's just me. I want to bring everything in one trip, and I want to get it done right then, right away. And I'm sure you maybe can relate, not to that specifically, but that kind of thing, right? Maybe God is speaking to something to you, and asking you to do something, but it's not the time quite yet. So what do we do in the meantime while we wait for God to bring those things into our life? And so I was reading Luke 2 the other day, and this narrates Jesus' birth, with him being born and the shepherds coming to see him. And so it tells us that the shepherds were so excited about what they were seeing that they immediately went and they told everybody that they could about this and gave praise to God because Jesus was born. But in the middle of that section, it says in verse 19, it says, "But Mary treasured up all these things and pondered them in her heart." And it also repeats that same exact phrase in verse 51. And for some reason this day, that stuck out to me a lot. And so with everything going on around her, she didn't try to figure what everything meant at that time, or she didn't demand God to give her more answers, even if she felt confused, but she waited for things to slowly be revealed to her over time. She showed us what patience looks like. And so it also shows us that God is a patient revealer too. He reveals things to us at the perfect time when we need it. And so I think today we can find encouragement in this. We don't need to be worried about making God's plans happen in our own life. We don't need to make them happen, but we can be patient for him to bring those things when we need them, because ultimately he knows when all those things need to take place, because his timing is perfect. And so when we try to rush into certain things like that, and making things happen, we're forgetting to embrace the everyday, and what he wants to do in our lives that day. God cares more about who we're becoming than what we do for him, right? So he wants to use the everyday to develop the person that we are. So I hope today that we can be encouraged that there is value in the waiting on God to fulfill his plans that he has for you, or answer a prayer, or bring a solution to a problem that you might be facing. There is value in patience and waiting for God's perfect timing, because he does have the perfect plan, even though sometimes it might not feel like that. So I encourage you to keep waiting and praying and opening up our hearts to God for him to change us while we wait. There is value in that waiting season. And so when the waiting is over, seeing God's plan come to life, or that answer in that prayer, will be sweeter than you ever even thought possible.